After wake-up lights, sleep trackers, and romantic partners, are earbuds the next rest thing? Let's talk about the SoundCore SleepBuds A10 and if they'll solve all your sleep problems. Goedendag, we're DHRME, Dutch heroes remarkably measure earbuds.
We know a whole bunch of you care about comfortable buds to sleep with. Not sure what you'll be doing with buds in bed, but we kind of see the allure after using the SoundCore SleepBuds A10 for a little while. You could use earbuds in bed for a couple of reasons, like listening to music while lying on your side, or use them like earplugs to block out ambient noise, or maybe play sounds to help you fall asleep. The SleepBuds A10 offer all this and the ability to measure sleep data, which we'll just snooze for now and talk about later.
Wearing any more than PJs to bed can take some getting used to. We noticed this with smartwatches, but we got used to those, and it's great to be able to measure your sleep quality and let it vibrate your wrist instead of an anxiety-inducing alarm clock. But plugging up those lug holes is another story. This is why the SleepBuds A10 have been designed with comfort in mind. After getting past the massive charging case, you'll realize how small and light the earbuds actually are. The earbuds are practically the size of the ear tips. You do get a bunch of ear and wingtips to help get a comfortable but secure fit. I'm someone who leaves no sleeping position unturned, and still they didn't fall out all night. Many buds these days fall out if you just turn your head the wrong way, let alone turning in bed. Because of the extremely compact and flat shape, they barely protrude, and so they don't hurt when you lie on them. At least if you lie on a pillow and not on a hard floor. Rowan, how did you like it?
I prefer being nude.
I seriously hope you're talking about your ears.
Yes, I am. Don't get your hopes up. Although these are way better than regular earbuds to sleep in, I still like to sleep without anything clogging up my orifices. But you, dear viewer, are probably interested in this sort of thing, in which case the size is very dose-friendly. But the compromises made to achieve this design felt very real. 3 main compromises to note here, guys. Compromise 1, sound quality. The first compromise is the sound. To start with, the buds don't get very loud, and we could listen to them quite comfortably at around 70 to 80% volume on Android. The rest of the sound, well, you know what? Our guess is that you're probably gonna get these buds for a really specific use case, sleeping. So these probably are not your main set of earbuds, wireless or otherwise, which would be the right idea because sound-wise, these are just okay. While in bed, you're probably listening to relaxing music, podcasts, or maybe watching a YouTube video or a movie, and for all those use cases, these are possible. The small form factor means it's the bass that does suffer. The treble is on the sibilant side, and using the deep or treble reducer presets kinda helped. But the sibilance never really goes away, and that's more perceptible at higher volumes. So these are okay for what they are, but don't try to use these buds as your daily driver.
The second compromise, there are no microphones on board. So bad or good news for you folks out there talking in your sleep? Most earbuds, even ones made for workouts, can be used for phone calls. So this is quite disappointing since you can only use them for sleeping or to listen to audio, which means you'll need another pair of earbuds if you want to make calls.
And the third compromise, no active noise cancelling. Depending on what kind of rough neighborhood you live in, you may appreciate some noise cancelling, and SoundCore talks a big game about it. Wings and twin seal ear tips, a secure seal, and an algorithm that adjusts the audio, blah blah blah, but is just a passive seal with automated volume adjustment to drown out, outside noise. So even though you could be forgiven for thinking these have ANC, let us be clear, they do not. Don't get your hopes up. All this happens when you put the buds into sleep mode. More on that later.
Even though SoundCore may have been caught napping on those compromises, they've managed to create a sleek design. And although the buds themselves are tiny, the battery still packs a punch. This is important if you plan to sleep with them instead of them conking out halfway through. In sleep mode, they advertise 10 hours, and in our testing, they lasted a little under that number at around 9 hours. That's something to snooze at. If you use them in Bluetooth music mode, then you get 6 hours. And that bulky case gives you 41 hours. So you won't be needing to charge these too frequently. But when you do, you'll need to find a USB Type-C charging cable because there's no wireless charging on board.
The SleepBuds A10 essentially gives you 2 modes you can put the earbuds into. You've got music mode and sleep mode. You can switch between the two in the app or by configuring a double tap on one of the buds. Music mode uses Bluetooth and plays audio as any other pair of Bluetooth earbuds does, And in true SoundCore fashion, they've even included an equalizer with presets and custom EQ, which we talked about earlier. Then we've got the sleep mode, which is pretty much the only reason you'd get these in addition to their tiny form factor. Double tap the left earbud and watch how these buds disconnect from audio playback on your device. This mode only plays sleep music that you can select from the app and preload onto the earbuds. And yes, you can also play nothing if you want to. No sounds or music from your phone will be played in this mode, and that is why the battery lasts 3 hours longer than in music mode. If you want to change the volume in this mode, you'll have to do that within the app. The volume on your phone no longer works. This setting is going to be a set it and forget it anyway.
What kind of extra features do you get? Well, none of the usual suspects like Smart Pause or Multipoint. Why would you need it to be paired to multiple devices? I mean, some of you might be so good at your work that you could do it in your sleep, but SoundCore still wants you to actually focus on your sleep. And that's why they've included 3 other features. One is what they call Smart Switch, where the buds can automatically detect that you're asleep and switch the mode to sleep mode. And we've tested that and it works. I've drifted off to sleep listening to the Verge's podcast, and before I knew it, I was hearing rain, meaning that it switched from music to sleep mode. Now, we've got to say that the reliability was a bit wonky. There were several times that I would wake up in the middle of the night and only hear sound coming from the left earbud or no sound coming from either until I double tap to resume audio. That's something to keep in mind, and we're hoping it will be fixed with a firmware update.
The second sleep feature you get is adding an alarm so only you can hear the alarm instead of waking up whoever you're sharing your bed with. It works well, but a downside is that you need to set this alarm in the SoundCore app instead of your default app on your phone. And finally, the third feature is the capturing of your sleep data, showing your information like how long you've slept for and how your sleep stages look like. Additionally, you can also see how you compare to other users in terms of how quickly you fell asleep. Since we test smartwatches on this channel, we tested it with the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 to see how it compares. Here's the data side by side. Despite not having medical grade equipment to verify accuracy, we did test it in terms of how we intuitively felt about our sleep. We could say that the Galaxy Watch is closer to reality, especially looking at the time awake. I definitely wasn't awake for 18 minutes, but rather closer to an hour.
But let's be real, guys, measuring your sleep using sleep music or blocking out sounds can do only so much to your sleep. The SleepBuds A10 may support your sleep a tiny bit, if they're comfortable for your particular ears, of course. For Rohan, they were okay. For me, they were fine. He probably won't use them that often. Will I? From time to time, but it will take some getting used to. However, we feel obliged to state the obvious here. Nothing ever beats the basics of having a healthy lifestyle. You know, things like eating properly and exercising enough, or reducing stuff like alcohol, caffeine, and watching too many of our YouTube videos right before going to sleep. If you still want to watch our YouTube videos, then we'd suggest this one, where we interviewed a sleep expert who gave us many tips and advice. All in all, common health practices still beat any tech product out there. There's no silver bud out there, guys. Not yet, at least. You've been getting deep into sleep, and we've been DHRME. Namaste.